There are several ways to dim a light bulb. One of them is simply to vary the voltage. More voltage, more brightness. Pulse width modulation is a form of dimming where power is switched on and off very rapidly. 25% on time equals 25% brightness. 75% on time equals 75% brightness. The time between the starts and ends of the peaks is called pulse width. Hence, pulse width modulation. This is how an incandescent bulb illuminates at 1200 frames per second. I've counted the frames between off and fully lit here. It came out to 1/16 of a second. You can therefore dim these lights via pulse width modulation. You just need to switch them on and off at faster than 16 Hz. This is how an LED illuminates at 1200 frames per second. That was about 4/1000 of a second. You might see what I'm getting at now. Let's have a look at a strip of LEDs being dimmed. Did you catch it? Let's slow the video down a bit. Here's the same thing at 300 frames per second. Slowing down even further, we can analyze just how fast these things are. Counting the frames, we can see that an on-off cycle is about 12 frames, which is 10 milliseconds or 100 Hz. They spend between 2 and 9 frames in an off state, which is about 85 to 25% duty cycle. Also of note is that these surface mount LEDs are even faster than the traditional ones in the flashlight. They can switch on or off inside of 1/1000th of a second. Why not simply dim LEDs by varying the voltage then? Well, switching things on and off rapidly is more efficient, and the people who design these things love efficiency. So do I, but I'd rather have something slightly less efficient over something that gives me a headache. There are PWM circuits that are capable of switching much faster than 100 Hz. I have no idea why the manufacturer didn't use these. Maybe the LEDs just do something funny if you switch them faster. I plan on experimenting. This is a video game at 600 frames per second on an LED TV. The flicker is about 2 frames on and 2 frames off, or 150 Hz. The pulse width modulation is still not fast enough to keep up with the speed of the LEDs. This is my computer monitor at 600 frames per second. 1 frame off, 2 frames on, about 200 Hz. The manufacturers of computer monitors list this specification as response time in milliseconds. Here's the relationship between Hertz and seconds. 1 divided by 200 equals 0.005 seconds. I find that with faster response times, I tend to get headaches less often. I have no concrete evidence of this, so you should still do your own research. However, if you occasionally spend enough time in front of a monitor to get a headache, you'll enjoy a faster response time anyway. Gaming-specific monitors tend to have faster response times, claiming that it makes for smooth motion playback. That seems really vague, but I think it supports my findings. In conclusion, if you find yourself getting a headache around LED lighting, keep them at full brightness when practicable. When shopping for a new monitor, look for the shortest response time in your price range.